Hello, and welcome back to another video. I'm ZpprSprk, and you're watching my FTB Continuum Let's Play series. Now in this episode, I was debating on some things to do. I was looking at the quest book, at what we haven't done, thinking, there's some of these simple ones we could probably, that's not simple, but some of these that we could get into. This one, the only thing left to do on that is get some structure frames, and then we could probably do this one. 'Cause you remember we went and made all the controllers, but yeah, we just need to make the structure frames here, and then I guess pull the tier 3 controller out of storage so that we can get that quest done as well. On that one, and then this one, I guess we did get these. We could claim this one. Oh, because we finally made the tank. That's what it was. Some diamonds. This item is disabled. Okay, we get some disabled items, I guess. Does that actually show up somewhere? It does. Sometimes they make it so you can craft it into what it would be. That's the Applied Energistics silicone, which they did disable in order to get the other, but apparently they forgot to update the quest book, because I have pushed this button many times since the although I don't know if I've actually ran the commands myself. PQS admin default load. Let's try that real quick. PQ admin default load. Okay. And then what was the other one? PQS loot default load. Okay. PQS loot def. All right. So let's go back to, where was that one? In here? Yeah, it would still give us those. And what the other one that was giving us problems was this. Yeah. So I don't know. But today I was going back and forth with the quest book, looking at some things to do. We could start working on our space station and spacecraft. This is end game stuff. This, I don't know if we want to start working on this or not, but I was thinking we could start looking into the auto crafting. So first thing we need to do is the pattern terminal. So let's get that done. Looks like I want to sleep. Okay, so let's put our disabled items away. Mine are diamonds. It's always fun to have more diamonds. And our essence cans. We could actually just put these over here. Yeah, sorry about the noise. I've got some more coal going. I don't know if it's let's see, drum. Oh, that's light clear full. Well, we're out of cans now. Oh well. Whether we need the essence or not, it's in there. Alright, let's see if we can get over here a little quieter. There we go. So the pattern terminal, that's the crafting pattern. Pattern terminal, there we go. So that takes a crafting terminal and an engineering processor. We have the processor. So do we have the terminal itself? We almost do. We just need the formation core, I think is what it is. Yeah. We make one of those. All right, terminal there. Crafting terminal. And the pattern terminal. All right, we're going to stick it on this side. So what we can do now is we can put patterns there. So let's get the pattern, which is this guy. So we're going to need quartz glass, glowstone, or probably want to do the pure Certus because they're actually cheaper in the long run. And then the iron, which we don't have the quartz glass. We don't have the Certus, or they need quartz dust. Quartz. Alright, so let's get a bunch of this. I think this this grinder here will work. Oh yeah. Yeah, and I've realized that just fortuning with the pick is a lot better option for these Certus quartz and charged Certus quartz anyways. So alright, let's get a bunch of those there. Okay. How many can we make? 10? Alright, we'll start with 10. Okay, so the first thing we want to autocraft is actually let's look at the pattern term. Did I not? Here. Gotta pull these out. There we go, finally. Guess I put it on too long. I didn't wait for the quest to update. Okay, so that one's done, and now the automation station, which is the interface, which we have done an interface already, so this should be just pull it out. Ding, ding, ding. No? Oh, it's got more. Oh, molecular assembler. That's right. Molecular. Oh, we have to do it over here. Molecular assembler. Okay, we need annihilation, quartz glass, there we go. Okay, so first off, let's find a nice spot for this. I'd love to have it out a ways away, especially I'd love to pull this off. Let me, is there anything in there? There's some acceleration. Alright, put that down. Okay. I think I want to like have a crafting, like the auto crafting stuff set up underground. So I guess then I want to dig out the space, but for the most first, let's get an anchor. because I want a cable that's not hooked to that. I want a dense cable. Do we have any dense cables? No. What kind of cables do we have? We have a bunch of glass cables, some refined storage cables. Can we turn these into the other ones? No. Alright. Let's make these. We should be able to make them smart or something. Or covered. Yeah, covered cables. 9. And then we can make them smart cables. And then we should be able to make them dense cables somehow, right? There is a way to make them dense cables. Really? Was I wrong? You make it... I think you make the dense cables first. So I need more wool. Should have a lot of string. I can just craft wool. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright. Uses. Here, let's do the search. That will be better. Dense. Okay, dense smart needs, yeah. Oh, 4 covered. Yeah. There. And now, okay, the smart, and the reason I like the smart, because it will tell you, with the little pattern here, how many channels are on there, and the tooltip at the top, you can see there's 17 of 32 on here, and then you can also, just by visually knowing how the pattern is, I'm not the best at interpreting the patterns. I usually, look at the tooltip. It's easier. But the pattern does tell you how many channels are in there. So let's yeah, let me dig out a little spot here underground for some auto crafting, and I'll be back. Okay, so I dug out a nice little room, and I made this little, I don't know, kind of, well, it's only 4 legs, otherwise I'd say a spider looking thing. But, so I've got the dense cable coming down, and it has, 32 each. And then off of these, I just have a regular smart cable, and then this regular cables. So that we can set up the molecular assemblers with their interfaces over here. Now, since these can only hold 8 channels, and each of the interfaces is what counts as the channel, the assemblers don't count towards your channels. You can kind of hook them up in like a ring. So we'll have the 4 interfaces attached at this level. So there'll be one here, one here, one here, and then one over here. And then we'll put assemblers in the corners, and then the next level up, it'll be the interfaces in the corners and assemblers on the sides. So that'll be the 8 channels for this side, and then we'll put 3 more over there, and then that will be this one dense cable coming down. So now up here, so that's this cable. So if we want more cables, we're going to have to get more sides of the controller available. which means we'll probably want to end up moving some things. Probably move my EFAB, because I was told only having one of these tables on here is ideal, especially when you're using, you know, these crafters. So in here, oh, there's a boiler. I'm like, what? Okay. But in here with the crafters, if you have this and you name it, you know, it pulls from the storage of the same name. And the reason it's not making silicone now is because there's no sand in here. Well, apparently it won't make it now anyways, because there. Because the name was different. Now the names are the same. But yeah, let's turn that off just so it stops trying at least. So any of the upgrades we have in the one table are going to apply to any crafter we have. So if we get rid of this crafter, then it's only this one going to be used, and it won't cause conflicts and stuff. But then the other thing is there's a like a monitor block, and I haven't really looked into it much, but that you can put there to see the progress of all the auto crafting things. So that's probably what I'll put here to replace that. Other than that, any of these things are all, I did finally get some leftover ender to put in there. Yeah, other than that, we've got these processors down here doing their things. We'll probably just put a bunch of crafters here in the front and get them set up to do things. This is constantly full. Every time I check on it, it's full. And then I've got a bunch of inventory spam from the digging down below. Alright, so let's get the next step on the list first. So that is that one. Next we need the actual crafting computer. So we need a co-processing unit, and oh, well, it doesn't tell us the storage. At least one crafting storage. And then this is the interface. So we can, yeah. So let's get the crafting store. A crafting unit is needed. We're going to need several of these. We'll make 4 for now, because we want one of them to be this, and we'll make some storage. Now, one thought I had is if we come in here, pull out this 64K storage cell and use it, so we're going to have to tell it to dump all of the stuff off. So we can use it and make a 64K crafting unit here. So we can pull the, yeah. That way we can kind of reuse it. And boop. Alright, so there's our housing there. Let's put this on here. So now we've got enough storage there. And this, I think we can put this down. Actually, we want it hooked up not to this, because that's going to be full. This has yeah, let's just put it up here for now. Come on, land on the cable. Boom. Alright, and this, and then so we can actually do auto crafting as it is already. We're gonna want another one of these, and we're gonna want some more storage. So I'll probably make, I don't know if I'll need another 64, but I will eventually hook this up, but for now, oh, well, Apparently the coprocessor can't live by itself. Alright, so yeah, let me craft one of these and I'll be back. Okay, changed my mind. I figured I'll just make one of these for now, just because we have enough storage with the 64. And then if I make the 2 coprocessors, it should be able to do multiple crafts at once. So the level emitter, we need one of those for this. And then that goes in here. Is that some special quests too? No, just the interface terminal next. Okay. So we're going to want to put this here. Let me... I gotta... There we go. Okay, so whatever's crafting should be visible in there. So let's get some... Oh, right, I need to plug that hole. Let's get a craft going. So the first thing we want to do is automate blank patterns. So for that, we're going to probably want to automate the quartz glass first. So let's... And... we have regular glass. No. Let's make some regular glass real quick and just put that in the recipe because I'd really rather it have regular glass programmed into its recipe. I mean, I don't mind using it using the chiseled glass for... Alright, so that's going to make that. Now if we come down here and put that in our interface, now we can autocraft that. So if we say we want quartz glass, we have some here, but we pull all of them out. Now it says we have to craft them. So if we click on here, it says how many we want. So let's say we want 10. And it's going to say, oh, we have all the things except for 6 more glass. So we're like, oh. Since we haven't told it how to do glass, it says we're going to need to hook up an interface to this in order for that to work. We'll do this. Okay. So now, once we hit start, you can see it up there, and now it's done. And then we've got 12 up here. We asked for 10, but the recipe's in multiples of 4, and that's why there's 12. Okay, so I will get some more patterns hooked up. I guess the next one you want is this one. Pure Certus is fine. All right. Put those in there. Now if we want patterns, let's say we want 10 more patterns, it's going to say, oh, here's all this stuff. So it's going to use all the things we have and just automatically make it for us. And we look up there. There we go. Now we can pull the patterns out and stick them in this terminal. So yeah, I'll probably go through and I'll make some more patterns, different things to do. Probably the processors or these storage units is something that's really good and easy to have on there. Also putting terminals on these in order to get the crystals made, the processors done up. And we'll probably want to have some way of controlling these as well. So yeah, so let me work on getting some more things programmed in, and then we'll be back and we'll do the terminal, the interface terminal together. Yeah, so excuse me, hold tight. Okay, so I got a few patterns. So this one I did get filled up. Made the all the way up to the 64, and then the cores, the interface, and then over here assembler and some acceleration cards. So I've got my 8 assemblers and 8 interfaces over here. Now these ones don't have anything in it. It's just these 2 interfaces. So each of these are filled up. You can put 5 acceleration cards in each. So the crafting should be really quick. And if we see, this is already using all 8 channels here. So put one of these over there and there and there, and then this room I guess will be kind of, you know, full. The other thing we could do is have a bunch of these down in there too, so that we have, you know, kind of like a coprocessor and a storage. Just kind of fill the, you know, one of the sides up with that. I guess that could work too, but right now that's what we want. So the next thing we wanted to do was the interface terminal. So if we look at that, it needs an interface, that and that. So if we look, we don't have the interface, but we can craft it easy enough. Boom, and now give it a minute to go, and it's there. You can use it. So that's always fun and, you know, kind of convenient. Now the best part of this now is those molecular assemblers we have downstairs. We can access the interfaces hooked to them. So each row here, it represents one of the interfaces downstairs. And so, you know, here's the 2 that we're using. And then these other ones are still available for recipes. So now instead of going down there, putting the recipe in there, coming back up here to craft, we can just pop over to this terminal. Yeah, there's a little search bar. Or we can, you know, get it, you know, go over here. If we stand back, we can kind of get the side here, the side there. The other thought we could do is have them all kind of in a line, so that we can go there, 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 or whatever. So yeah, that's pretty neat. So we can plug up our hole. I do want to get some more things down here, but I just wanted to show the kind of general setup I have. And I've seen some people where they use the dents, and then they make this, instead of only 2 high, they make it 8 high. But then you would need the dense cable going down the center for that. Yeah. Other than that, it seems pretty straightforward. The other thing we could get into is the, oh, did we get the request for that? No. Let me pop the terminal off, because there we go. Apparently we didn't wait long enough. Alright, so let's get the reward. There's no reward. And that's the end of that. That P2P, yeah, this is something that is very powerful. Probably the biggest advantage that AE2 has is their P2P networks and stuff like that. And you can do kind of like that infinite storage on one channel kind of thing, where you use a whole bunch of, you'd use a storage bus, and like we have this down here, storage bus on an interface, and then kind of like a sub network behind that interface that has all the storage on it. And then that sub network can also have storage bus on it, and then you can just chain those up, in a sense infinitely, but I mean not practically infinitely, but that way you can have all of your storage just behind one channel rather than like we have now. Most of the storage here is off of there, and then just kind of right off the side of here too. So but we will want a whole bunch of these eventually, and we're going to want a whole bunch of, you know, these made up into the cells. Yeah, storage cells. And then just kind of have a bunch of those somewhere and just not worry about it. So we might end up with a basement room for that, and things like that, which I'm sure I could like just expand this out and then use more logic about how this is. The controller we probably want to bring down here. How expensive was the controller? I don't remember. This energy acceptor. Oh right, that was an EFAB recipe. So Palace, these data orbs, and a nether star. The nether star, that's currently the most expensive part. These data orbs aren't terribly expensive. I mean, all the emeralds and the circuits is a pain. But eventually, I mean, iridium's a pain as well. But we have a bunch of iridium. Let me sleep the rain and night away. So we have a bunch of iridium. Yeah, we might look into building a larger controller, because we can make it kind of a 7 by 7 by 7 box, kind of like a hollow frame. And then there's technical ways that you can make a whole bunch of crazy controllers. There's people that have gone, in my opinion, probably overboard, but into great detail of how to set up the controllers so that you can maximize how many different channels you can pull off of each face, because each face can have a dense cable, which is those 32 channels per face. But then if you put a P2P face there, then that P2P has the 32 channels on the other side of it. So you can actually get kind of get cubby holes where you're putting yeah. I don't know if I'm going to do it or not, but it is complicated. It's not necessary, but it is kind of fun. But real quick, before we end the episode, I did want to show you one thing. At the end of last episode, we finished this, and the pigs were having a hard time keeping up. But since then, I was able to get these speed upgrades. And like as the video is rendering, I'm like, there's got to be a speed upgrade for that. So I was doing some searching online, and there are. It's under Tesla Core, so you can't just look under the Industrial Foregoing, because they're not listed under that mod. You have to look under the Tesla Core, which is kind of the core mod, that the main library mod that it uses. So it's got the speed upgrades in there, and then it keeps up just fine. I mean, I could put it in here, put some speed upgrades in there, and that's those energy upgrades, so it uses less energy. I'm not worried about the amount of energy it's using right now, because you can see it's like maybe 20 RF a tick at a time. So I'm not worried about this guy. Oh, max 90 RF a tick. So, but it's only if a pig is there. So if we sped up the spawner or the mob duplicator, we probably could get, you know, more power being used. But yep, I'm not worried about that. But anyways, kind of a shorter episode today, but I hope you enjoyed it. And that, the moon, let's see, where's the sun? Sun's there, and the shadow is on the wrong side of the moon. Every time I look at it, the shadow's on the wrong side. Yeah, I wonder what that actually is. Maybe it's like a Death Star space station or something. Anyways, hope you liked this episode. If you did, leave a like and comment. Tell me what you're thinking. Subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.